Thing just to notice here, if the person is on their shoulder, can you go on their shoulder? Like move it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. For one thing, it feels not so good, and for another, it's going to compress some of the artery in here, and then their arm's going to turn purple. Okay. So if your person ends up like that, what I'm doing is I'm taking her shoulder forward. So she's actually on the outer edge of her scapula. Okay. So now she's been worked on enough that she's kind of angled in this way. And so now I'm going to palm below the spine. So Vanessa's just working above the spine. So I'm going to come here and palm below the spine. I'm going to use my leg as a brace for my elbow. And then I like to come in and let her take, say maybe 3 breaths. Just one that I hold for a while. The action is pressing in and dragging down. So I'm pressing in and dragging the muscles down away from the spine. Not putting any weight here, just placing my hand there. Feel okay? Again, I'm not on the spine, I'm just directly below it with the heel of my hand. So what we're getting to is one of my favorite moves of all of time massage. It's for people who say, I've got this lump or this creature living underneath my shoulder blade, and it won't go away. So I come up to the point where the heel of my hand is just underneath her spine, in between her shoulder blades. Let her breathe there for a little bit. Now I'm going to move down to the scapula and take the ridge of the scapula at the heel of my hand. Doing okay? Yes. Isn't it?
I feel like maybe Megan's tank top would be a better demo for this.
Right.
Do you want me to take my clothes off?
Yeah, sure.
We want you to get stripped down. So I think it'll be easier to see the whole shoulder blade action.
Are you on the vertebral border scapula, or are you like actually on the blade?
I'm on the scapula. Here's her scapula right here. Here's the edge of it. And I'm getting the heel of my hand in between the edge of her scapula and this one. And my hand is on the edge of the scapula, but it's more in the meat.
Yes, it is.
Right?
It's more like a heel touch, or you squeezing so with the finger?
It's a heel touch. Straight down with the heel. So it's actually taking her scapula off her back a little bit. Yeah. Megan's a good person to practice on because her scapula don't fling off of her back. Like some people, maybe we'll get someone up here whose scapula flings off their back. So you can see what that looks like.
You have the wing and shoulder blade.
Yeah, we can make it. Yeah, you do. We'll look at Dahlia. When we're done with this series, we'll look at Dahlia. But Megan's really good to practice on because she's a little more challenging. So same thing. I just come here and I feel her breathing into it a little bit. And it might look like I'm working, it's just because the angle looks like, but I'm really not. I'm just kind of hanging out here. Okay, I'm just leaning into it. You know, another option is, for some people, you might like to do it like this. I go back and forth. This is a little,
That's not as intense, just
yeah.
from my perspective.
Because your weight's not directly over.
The weight's not directly over. I feel like, especially for her, because she doesn't have a wingy shoulder blade, it's harder to get in there. Right here. Have your person's hand turned open a little bit. You're going to bring them either to the outside of your arm, or if they're a little tighter on their shoulder, then you can kind of cradle them right here. And a nice big circles with her shoulder blades. This is looser, so her arm's just gonna come right here. Shoulder up to the ear and down. And do that about 5 times. And lean.
It's so nice.
That's pretty nice, I have to say.
Yeah, you know you're doing it right if you're able to get the same stretch right here.
Yeah, this is reminiscent of the rope wall.
Good thing you brought your pillows with you.
Compliment.
You can take it back a little bit this way if you want. It's stretching out all over. Okay. So we need to open her body back up for this one. If it's straight up and down, and I take her arm this way, it's not going to be comfortable on the arm. I'm opening up her chest towards me a little bit. I'm resting her arm on my leg. Again, heel of the hand.
I know you did.
Oh, yeah, I did.
It was really good.
Pressing straight down.
Yes, but it's pressing straight down, but it's going into the edge of her pectoralis major and down here into getting into her minor a little bit, which is a great spot. So you're going to have to really, this series is really great for just practicing your touch. I'm going right here. Here's the edge of her pectoral muscles, and I can literally feel the edge almost folding over. Okay? And so I just lean, let her breathe. And this is sort of a difference between, and you can correct me, Vanessa, if I'm wrong, but this is sort of a difference between mine and Vanessa's techniques. I like to come in and just kind of stay. Or you can do back to 3 points, moving 1, 2, 3.
I think it will really depend on the kind of person that you're working with. If someone's coming in, they have a lot of stuff built up, they don't have a lot of mobility, and this is an area you're going to spend time in, then yeah, definitely hang out and hold. But if they're coming in for something going on in their knee, while you're going to do this, you're not going to spend like 10 minutes on the pec when you want to work. And it's not even like a pressure point for the leg anyway, so.
That's a really good point.
It's all subjective.
That's a really
relative.
Good point. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do that.
And as you develop your practice, you're going to have your way.
And then this next one's called Herminium. You'll see why. If you're on the other side, make sure and look from both sides, especially, you see I've got my hand in the front of her shoulder, not on her chest, right? And look how I'm moving my thumb up and down. Right, between the scapula and spine. Now, the biggest mistake that people make on this is they go like this, which probably doesn't feel too great. What do you think, Megan?
Feels a little manhandling.
Yeah, it feels a little manhandling. People are like, oh yeah, I'm getting in there with my thumb. Think, your thumb here is the stabilizer, and you're just rolling the scapula over the stabilizer. So I'm not pressing in with my thumb, I'm just placing the thumb, and then the scapula is just rolling over it. Okay? Look at how I'm bracing the whole movement with my thigh. Right? So right arm, right thigh. And this is a nice little finishing. Lengthen the arms, especially if you've been working deeply and maybe there's a little soreness there. Just makes them feel just really kind of safe and compact as we finish. Okay?